Hi there. Thank you very much for joining me. So I decided to record this video because I just want to set some records straight. I've been receiving a lot of messages from both sides of this Black Lives Matters, racism row, white, anti-white, black, anti-black, and those sorts of things. And people asking me to almost like choose a fight. So my posting has been mixed because what I believe in is racism is bad and let's condemn it. Whether you're black, white, any other color, you condemn racism so that we can all live happily. I have been at the forefront of receiving racist remarks, and even in my work, and sometimes I've left jobs because of what it has done to me. But equally, I have really, really good friends who are not racist, and they are not black, they are white. So it's only a few people that make the whole situation bad. However, it makes it so difficult for us to be able to continue to fight this battle if we are going to start looking at sides and start picking sides. So I am saddened that Black Lives Matters campaigns can't go on because people are so fragile that black people are going to take away everything from them, and so they should try and stop the people that are going out to the front line to go and protest. We've been called all sorts of names. You just have to visit certain posts and certain websites to see what's being said about us. And that is not right. That is racism that right there. And that is not in the US. It is in the UK. Equally, whenever I post something that is talking about my friends, my white friends, I get a lot of messages back. In my inbox is flooded. People who are black telling me that I'm whitewashed. No, I am not. I hate racism. I don't want it. It has happened to me. It has happened to my children. And it's something that we live with. And in the UK, it's so subtle that it's very difficult to complain about it. That's what makes it so difficult for some of our white friends to understand what it is. Because some of them may not see it as racism, and some of them may see it as something else. But as we educate them, and I hate the fact that some black people say it's not our job to educate white people about racism. No, if somebody is doing something, unless they're doing it deliberately and they're very sure, you can make the judgment, but please do educate other people. When we talk about sides, whether you are my white friend or my black friend or my Asian friend, I can list a whole lot of people, hundreds, who've been really, really good to me. I am in England because my white boss paid for my ticket to sponsor me to come and study. And my black friends and family, some of them had so many unsavory things to say about the time I was coming to the UK. So yeah, I thank that. And in my country, we have places that were left by the white people. Our curriculums are still British. If we hated white people that much, why don't we change that? We live in the UK. There are a lot of things. There's a lot of history. You can walk anywhere, and a lot of this history has racism attached to it, has colonialism attached to it, has slavery attached to it. But we can't go then attacking everything, because at the end of the day, let's just break it all down. So I choose to look at the issue as currently what is happening as opposed to the past. I am not qualified enough to talk about what happened in, 400 years ago and whatever, because I probably didn't experience that and I didn't grow up thinking about that. I'm not qualified enough to talk about the statues and the good and the bad of the statues because I didn't grow up experiencing how horrible things are. But I am not neglecting the fact that we know that colonialism, we know that the past, we know that slavery had a lot to do with a lot of things that we are going through right now, a lot of bad things that we're experiencing right now. So when people go and vandalize statues, when people go and throw the, Edward Colson or whoever they're going to fight against, let's not forget that that's taking away from actually having the conversation that we need to be having so that our great-grandchildren can have a better life, a better experience than we've had. Because then what you get is people re-attack. And when they re-attack, then that conversation is gone. So what happened yesterday, I've had a lot of attack when I've posted about the black man that carried the white far-right guy on his shoulder to save him from the fight. And I've seen a lot of negativity that has come through because I also posted, alongside that photo, I posted the other guy that was peeing against the statues. So if the statues shouldn't be pushed away, let's condemn that on all sides. Let's not just say black people have done this and they're bad, but equally, let's not also say we are going to take down all the statues, because those conversations can be had and they can be had in the right forums. And I know people have said they've been fighting this for years and years and years, and now they've done it. But you know what else has happened? The other thing that's happening with that is you're now bringing in the right wing who are going to be, it's now going to be a fight of this side and that side instead of the fight against racism. Racism in the UK is real. It is current. It is now. It's not about George Floyd in the US. Yes, that raised it and made it easier for a lot of people to talk about it. But equally, there are a lot more people who would say something, but they're worried about what their white friends are going to say or what's going to happen to them when they go back to work. So let's just have a conversation, and also let's have a plan. What are we fighting for? If we keep fighting, we can keep fighting and marching and talking and whatever. But if we don't have the wish list that is clear enough, we are not going to achieve anything, because we're just going to be ignored. And we're just going to have this rise of hate and other people, which is just happening right now. Let's have a plan. Let's just start talking. What is it? We've had a little we've had a little group of friends that I feel quite comfortable from different races that we can have this open conversation. Like the time when we talked about Asian people being more racist and things like that. It's not that Asian people are more racist, but Asian people have been racist to black people. White people have been racist to black people. But for black people as well, let's not forget that because of what we've experienced, and I'm not justifying that, we've also been quite racist, if I can call it that, to other races. What do we call white people? What do we call Asian people? If we continue attacking each other, we are not going to solve problems. So let's start talking about solving problems. Let's start talking about moving forward. My fight is against racism, not against any specific person on any side. I hope that is clear. And I hope that as we go forward, our leaders are going to take charge and help mediate the sides that are fighting right now and start looking at the issues, changing policies, starting by not hiding recommendations from COVID. As black people, let's come out and say what it is that we want to say. And let's come out and say what it is that we want so that we can move forward. Because we'll keep staying in the shadows and then we'll go back quietly. There's a lot of white fragility. We can't run away from that because some white people feel they're being attacked. There's also a lot of white privilege that people don't understand, that the same thing can be done by a white person and a black person and the treatment will be different. I share those posts where I see some black people being stopped wrongly and then searched and whatever. I have worked in that field. I used to run a charity for 10 years and now I coach people and I get people tell me about their experiences in work, their experiences wherever they are, and that is why I speak up, and that is why I am not afraid to actually talk about racism and how much it affects life. It affects children's lives. It affects adults' lives. it actually affects white people's lives that want to be good. And for my white friends, marrying a black person doesn't change you from being a racist if you are a racist. What shows us that you could be a racist is the way you act, the way you talk. It's like you're holding a trophy that you have a black girlfriend or black wife. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't, it's as good as, a lot of people have told me, oh, these people that have moved in this area. And then when you say, well, look at me, and then say, oh, no, not you, love. We experienced that. And that is real. It's not every day, but when it happens, you ask yourself, you look at yourself and think, why do I have to experience this? We have the same blood, we have the same everything. I've had blood transfusions in the hospital, and I don't know whether my donors were white or black or whatever it is. So if we can have all those things, let's just celebrate our diversity. Let's just accept that people will be different, but let's just have respect for everyone. Black Lives Matter doesn't mean white lives don't matter. Black Lives Matter does not mean Asian lives don't matter. Black Lives Matter is a cry for us to say, we are here too. Let's not get shorter. Let's not walk the streets and fear that somebody is going to shoot the man that I'm walking with. So there you go. Please don't ask me to choose sides because I won't. I will condemn everything that is wrong, and I will continue to try and help have some education. And I'm okay to be corrected, but when you do that, correct me not because you're trying to show me you're better than me, because none of us is better than the other. Some of us are just learning some of the bad things through this whole thing. So let's just get to the point and fix the problem. I doubt, actually, personally, that racism will ever end. But what I know is there will be a point when more people will be so aware and they'll be conscious, and such that the microaggressions will start reducing. Thank you.